Ever wondered how hackers find out email addresses from a mail server? It's all about SMTP enumeration. This technique is not just for shadowy figures in the digital underworld, though. It plays a crucial role in the realm of cybersecurity. SMTP, or Simple Mail Transfer Protocol, is the internet standard for email transmission. It's like the postal service of the digital world, delivering your emails from one place to another. But just like with physical mail, there's a way to find out who's on the mailing list. This is where SMTP enumeration comes in. It's a process used to gather email account information from a mail server. It's not unlike flipping through an address book, but in this case, the address book is a mail server and the addresses are email accounts. Understanding SMTP enumeration is a key step in comprehending the broader spectrum of cybersecurity. Now, let's delve deeper into the process of SMTP enumeration. SMTP enumeration might sound complex, but it's a step-by-step process that anyone can understand. First, let's start with the initiation of a connection with the SMTP server. This is like dialing a number on a phone. You're trying to establish a line of communication. In this stage, you're essentially saying, "Hey server, I'd like to chat." And if all goes well, the server will respond positively, signaling the commencement of the SMTP enumeration process. Now, on to the second step, sending commands to the server. This is where the actual chatting happens. You're asking the server questions and it's answering back. These questions are in the form of SMTP commands, each with a specific purpose. For example, you might send a VRFY command to verify an email address or an XPN command to request a list of all email addresses. This leads us to the types of responses that can be received. The server doesn't just respond with a simple yes or no. It communicates using 3-digit codes, each carrying a unique meaning. For instance, a 250 response means the command was successful, while a 550 response indicates failure. It's like learning a new language, only this one is spoken by servers. But what do we do with these responses? Well, we interpret them. Depending on the response code, we can determine if an email address exists, if it's active, or even if it's just a forwarding address. It's like decoding a secret message, unveiling the information hidden within. Finally, we use this information to gather email accounts. By systematically sending commands and interpreting responses, we can build a list of valid email addresses associated with the server. This can be useful for various reasons, from legitimate system administration tasks to, unfortunately, more nefarious purposes like spamming or phishing. So that's the basic process of SMTP enumeration. But how can we summarize the key points? SMTP enumeration is a fundamental skill in the world of cybersecurity. Let's highlight the key points we've discussed. First off, let's revisit the purpose of SMTP enumeration. It's an essential process used to gather information about a mail server, which could potentially reveal email addresses that are valid and active. It's a tool that can be utilized for both good and ill. While it can help system administrators better manage their networks, it can also be used maliciously for phishing attacks. Next, we walk through the step-by-step process of SMTP enumeration. It all starts with the establishment of a connection to the mail server. Once connected, we can send commands to the server, and it responds back with pertinent information. These commands include VRFY, XPN, and RCPT2. Each command serves a different purpose. VRFY checks if a user exists, XPN reveals the actual delivery address of a mailing list, and RCPT2 can be used to check if a mailbox is active. The importance of understanding these commands cannot be overstated. It's not just about knowing what they do, but also how to interpret the responses from the server. For instance, a 250 OK response means the command was successful, while a 550 user unknown response indicates that the requested user does not exist. It's also crucial to remember that SMTP enumeration isn't a one-size-fits-all process. Different servers may respond differently to these commands, and some may not respond at all. This is where the art of interpretation comes into play, and why understanding the nuances of SMTP enumeration is so vital. Lastly, we must consider the ethical implications of SMTP enumeration. While it can be a powerful tool in the right hands, it can also be misused. Therefore, it's incumbent upon us to always use this knowledge responsibly and ethically. Understanding these key points can help anyone become more adept at SMTP enumeration. So, we've learned what SMTP enumeration is and how it works. But what's next? As we dive deeper into the world of cybersecurity, it's important to understand the practical applications of what we learn. In this case, SMTP enumeration is a valuable tool in the arsenal of an ethical hacker or a penetration tester. These professionals use this technique to uncover vulnerabilities in an organization's email system, helping to identify potential points of entry for malicious actors. It's like a locksmith testing locks to ensure they're secure. SMTP enumeration allows these cybersecurity experts to identify active mail servers, understand their configurations, and uncover potential weaknesses. This information can be used to fortify defenses and prevent unauthorized access. However, like any tool, SMTP enumeration can be misused. It's crucial to underline that this technique should only be used ethically with proper permissions. Unauthorized use can infringe on privacy and violate laws. The line between ethical hacking and malicious intent can be thin, and it's important we stay on the right side of it. This brings us to a broader question about ethics in cybersecurity. As we continue to delve into this fascinating field, we must always consider the implications of our actions. Cybersecurity is not just about protecting systems and data, but also about respecting privacy and upholding ethical standards. It's a fine balance, and one that requires ongoing reflection and learning. In closing, let's go back to SMTP enumeration. It's a powerful and practical technique, but it's just one small piece of the cybersecurity puzzle. There's a vast field out there waiting to be explored. From network security to malware analysis, from cryptography to incident response. So, what's next? It's up to you. Continue learning, continue exploring. The field of cybersecurity is vast and ever-changing. Every new technique you learn, every concept you grasp, adds to your understanding and makes you better equipped to face the challenges of this digital world. SMTP enumeration is just one small part of the vast field of cybersecurity. Keep learning, keep exploring, and remember, knowledge is power.